Okay, so here we are with chapter 4, and we are continuing working with multiplying and dividing fractions, but we are now in lesson 3. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I want you to have your book open to page 273, and we're going to get started right there. Again, doing what I'm doing. Your book should be filled with pencil marks. Okay, mine's like a marker, but yours are pencil marks. So we're going to get started with this first question because I really like this one, and this is a great lead into what we're doing today. It says a chameleon's body is about half the length of its tongue. A certain chameleon has a tongue that is 2/3 foot long. Okay, so you see, here's the length of the tongue. Woo, okay, and it's half the size of the tongue. So take a look what it says here, what we should do. It says use an area model to show 1/2 of, there's that keyword of that I said when we're putting it in between two numbers, and that means that we are going to be multiplying of 2/3. So therefore we are taking 1/2 times 2/3. It says shade the rectangle, or sorry, not shade, it says divide the rectangle into 2 rows. So here's my rectangle down here. I'm going to divide it into 2 rows. And again, it says that we have 1/2. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kind of shade that in really lightly with this color, 1/2. That's 1/2 of that rectangle. Okay, now I'm going to change my colors. And then it says then divide into 3 columns. So I'm going to divide it into thirds. And since I'm talking thirds, I know I said 2/3. So I'm going to kind of shade the other way. Notice some are kind of overlapping, okay? So I have shaded in 2/3 of that rectangle that's there. Then, which is what we just did right here. Then it says, let's take a look at this. We have how many boxes, how many little pieces do I have inside this rectangle? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I have 6 pieces. Of those 6 pieces, which ones are double shaded? Meaning, which ones have the 1/2 shaded in and which ones have the 2/3 shaded in? Well, this one right here and this one right here. So how many pieces is that? That is 2 out of 6. And when I look at 2, 6, I know right away that that has to be simplified. And I can divide each of those by 2 and I get 1/3. Okay, so it says what fraction represents 1/2 times 2/3? Well, it's 2/6, which equals 1/3. Now take a look at this. It says what is the relationship between the numerators and denominators of the factors and the numerator and denominator of the product? Well, take a look at what happens. 1/2 times 2/3. What is 1 times 2? 2. What is 2 times 3? 6. Take a look at that. That is what we got. Okay, so basically what we're knowing and what we're learning is all we have to do is take 1/2, or take our numerators, multiply them, and take our denominators and multiply them. And then we always, 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 with any fraction, have to simplify. So we would get 1/3. Okay, let's flip over to the next page. And let's take a look right here. There it is, in words. Circle that. Multiply your numerators, multiply your denominators. Okay? All right. Let's take a look at this area model just one more time. Okay, in case you really like, if you're a visual learner and you really like that visual piece, this is a way to show it. Or if it asks you to see it as a visual piece or write it as a visual piece, this is one way you could. So we're taking 1/3 times 1/4. So here's my thirds. There's 1/3. There's my other third right here, and there's my other third. And there's my 1/4 here, 1/4 here. I just kind of switched sides because I'm going to run out of room. So I'm going to shade in 1/3. And then I'm going to shade in another, using the other color, I'm going to shade in 1/4. Okay, taking a look at this, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I have 12 pieces. Out of those 12 pieces, which one or ones are double shaded? I just have one box, so it's 1/12. Well, let's see what that looks like if we just multiply our numerators, multiply our denominators. So it's 1/3. This is method 2. Okay, so you got 2 methods. 1/3 times 1/4. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 4 is 12. Exact same answer, and on top of that, we don't need to simplify. Can't simplify. Okay, we're going to go ahead and solve these problems down below. We are just going to multiply numerators and just multiply the denominators. So 1/2 times 3/5. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 5 is 10. Do they have any factors that they have in common? Nope, they sure don't. So therefore, my answer is 3/10. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. 1/3 times 3/4. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Now when I look at 3/12, I know that they do have a common factor, and I know that that greatest common factor is 3. So I have to divide and simplify. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. All right, and let's do this last example together. 2/3. I know a lot of you already know this, and you're like, this is easy, Mrs. Horner. I get it, but practice makes us better. It doesn't make us perfect, it makes us better. 2 times 5 is 10. 3 times 6 is 18. When I look at 10/18ths, I know that I can divide each of these by 2. When I divide each of these by 2, I get 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 18 divided by 2 is 9, so I get 5/9. Okay, let's take a look at the next page. So we had to simplify at the end. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this example. Now, we can simplify at the end of any problem, or we can simplify during the problem where we can cross-simplify. So when we cross-simplify, it just takes that problem out at the end. Instead of simplifying at the end, we're going to simplify before we actually solve. Therefore, our number and our products aren't that big. So what does that really mean? You're like, Mrs. Horner, I have no clue. I'm going to show you. I want to jump all the way down to the example problems on page 275, and we're going to take a look at this together. So basically what it means is, here's my problem, 3/4 times 4/9. Okay, so we're just going to solve this problem like we did before. We're going to multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, then figure it out. So 3 times 4 is 12. 4 times 9 is 36. When I look at 12 and 36, I know right away that the greatest common factor that they have in common is 12, which means I'm going to divide each of those by 12. So 12 divided by 12 is 1, and 36 divided by 12 is 3. So I simplified at the end. Now, those products, okay, when we multiplied, were a little bit higher than I would like. I mean, maybe you might like those, but then a little bit higher than I would like. So watch what happens when we cross-simplify at the beginning. So 3/4 times 4/9. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the numbers across from one another. Okay, you can circle them, you do not have to. I'm just showing you that's what cross-simplifying means. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go back to that problem. Okay, I'm going to undo it, and I'm going to look at 4 and 4. Well, I know that I can take and divide each of those by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Easy, right? Yeah, I just cross-simplified within my problem. Now I have 3 and 9. I know that I can divide each of those by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So now my new problem becomes this. 1 over 1 times 1 over 3. So 1 over 1 times 1/3. What's 1 times 1? 1. What's 3 times 1? 3. I get the exact same answer. I just cross-simplified at the beginning. Okay, let's take a look at this next one, E. So 5/6 times 9/10. I see when I look at 10 and 5, I can divide each of those by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. When I look at 6 and 9, I know I can divide both of those by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So now my new problem becomes, and I don't have to rewrite this new problem, but I'm going to, just so you can see it. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 2 is 4, and I get 3/4. Now, if I were to start with this, I would end up getting 45 over 60, right? And then I would keep simplifying it down in order to get 3/4. Okay? All right, so let's take a look at 3/5. Well, what do I do if I have 10? Okay, anytime I have a whole number, that means it goes over 1. So 3/5 times 10 over 1. Okay, here we go. Well, let's cross simplify. Can I do it with 3 and 1? Nope, I can't. But can I do it with 5 and 10? I sure can. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So now I get 3 times 2, which is 6, and 1 times 1, which is 1. Anytime a whole number is over 1, it is just that whole number. So my answer is 6. Okay, if you feel like you have it, then you can stop this video and you can get on to your homework if you have homework. If you feel like you need a couple more examples, continue on with me. All right, let's take a look at the next page. Here we go. We're going to do a couple of these problems together. So let's take a look at number 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 8 times 2 is 16. Do I need to simplify? Nope, it's as low as it'll go. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at number 2. Can I cross simplify 2 and 5? Nope. 4 and 3? Nope. So we're just going to go ahead and multiply across. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 3 is 15. Since I couldn't cross simplify in the problem to begin with, I'm not going to be able to simplify any farther at the end. All right. 4/5, I'm going to rewrite this one, times 10 over 1. I know that I can divide both of these by 5. That gives me 2. 4 times 2 is 8. And then I get 1 times 1, which is 1. So therefore, my answer is just 8. And let's take a look at this one. 3/4 times 12 over 1. I know I can divide both of these by 4. That gives me 1. That gives me 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 1 is 1. And I get an answer of 9. Okay, I like to rewrite these because I write bigger than they write. Okay, so 5 and 10, I'm sorry, cross simplify. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5 is 2. 3 and 6, I can divide both of those by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4. And the last one, 3/5 times 5/6. I'm going to do 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 5 divided by 1 is 5. 5 divided by 1 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. And 1 times 2 is 2. So I get 1/2. Okay, you should be good to go, whether you cross simplify before in your problem, or if you wait and you simplify at the end, you're going to get the same answer no matter what way you choose to do it. Again, I prefer to cross simplify because it makes my products smaller, makes my life a little easier. Okay, you guys got this.